It is indeed a pleasure to have this privilege to play here for you. We intend to give you a very fine program, so just settle back, relax, and enjoy the moment.
What's up? Let's see. Mic check. It's 7 p.m. and like the sun, y'all see the sun? I'm working with it. Y'all work with me. I put one of the blinds down. I'm super excited. I have a guest today. I have Kris Kaylin joining me. I'm gonna go ahead and just start the meeting over here on Zoom. Then we're just gonna jump right in it. Kris, if you listening or watching, hopefully this will work right. Okay, it's working. But I just gotta get it over to the other. Here she go. Hold on 1 second, Kris. Let me bring it over here. Boom. To my second monitor. Hold on. I'm gonna make sure my camera's off. I'm gonna admit Kris. Here she come. I'm gonna switch the view, y'all. Okay, so we getting there. Hold on I see Kris, she's setting up her situation. What I wanna do is let me see. I wanna see speaker view, yeah. And then I'm gonna check. Hey Kris, I'm just setting up my camera if you're listening. Before you hop on there, let me choose OBS virtual camera, boom. And now let me turn it on. Up. It ain't acting right. Oh, I know what I did. Kris.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I'm gonna hang up and come right back. Okay. Let me start something else. Okay, I'm gonna close out Zoom and I'm gonna open it right back up.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Let me switch. All right. Let me close that out. She on time, but I gotta make sure I start the virtual camera over here. Let's see if we could do that while it's on. I don't know if you can. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Just the little glitches behind the scenes. Might be this. Yeah, virtual camera. Oh, it's running. Why is that acting stupid? Okay. So we're just gonna open back up. Zoom. Boom. We getting there, y'all. One second. Thank y'all for joining me on Facebook. Thank you for joining me on Twitch. Appreciate y'all. Hey, Jillian. Hey, Courtney Hicks. Love the gloss. I'm trying, Courtney. I'm trying to stop looking crusty. All right, we're gonna wait for Kris to come back. Let me switch the view again so y'all can see more Kris. Here we go. All right. Yeah, I don't know why it's acting up. All right. Oh, I see. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I hear you fine. I see you fine. I'm just trying to get my camera. So now you're gonna see your face, but
yeah.
But I wanted you to, I'm gonna let me see if I can do my.
I was looking at your other Twitch so I can get in the idea. I was like, okay, let me see what this is about. I had to download Twitch earlier.
Nah, I know. Everybody like intimidated, but it's real simple. It's just
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's like just I can talk anything I want and not get interrupted by Instagram. But anyway, first, look at that's Amethyst.
Hey, Amethyst.
Amethyst.
Listen, when I realized her name was Amethyst, I was like, oh my god, I love her name.
Exactly.
I love your name, Amethyst.
Yeah, like she has this full on personality and it matches. And I appreciate you. Look at your background, though. Let's first of all.
I mean, listen, you got to see the top because it wouldn't fit the entire thing.
Wait.
So listen, wait till I get my stand up desk.
Yo,
I got the chair.
Girl, you don't want to see the raggedy thing I got because I got the dude that helps me out with my behind the scenes, like the software production. He was like, you gotta get a stand up desk. I'm like, this raggedy thing here.
Girl, I wouldn't even show you what I'm using right now. But it's okay. We here. That's all that matters. We see each other. We got good light.
That's right.
See this part of the background.
That's all that matters, for real, for real. But I'm super excited. I wanted to talk to you. First of all, we need to keep talking. I don't know how much you believe this, but I'm I don't lie, but I really do believe that you're such an untapped. You are running things. You're the top rated weekend diva. We know it. The numbers don't lie. You posted the stats, the scoreboard. But I really do think people don't understand like that you are such an influential voice. And I just want you to know that. I don't know how much that matters coming from me, but
it matters a lot. It means a lot. Trust me, it does, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, for you to even know that, and Tamika, I respect you. So it's just like when you have compliments coming from certain people, that's all that matters. Yeah. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Absolutely. And I really think that people better get in now while they can afford it. I don't know, because
listen, you hear these prices going up.
I can tell by the Instagram. But no, I wanted to talk to you because the one thing I like about the platform, just like with Amethyst, I like bringing on people who do other things. You're a content creator. I'm gonna let you tell it who you are to people who are watching, but you are more than just a radio personality, and I think your voice does have influence, and you're building that out. But go ahead and just introduce yourself to anyone watching on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Facebook.
Hey to everyone, my name is Kris Kaylin. I am a Charleston native, born and raised, downtown girl. What's up? Right. But outside of that, I am a radio personality. I do a lot of things in the community. I'm a content creator. I dabble in a little bit of everything. I do entertainment reporting for Bounce Around Charleston. Ooh. And I'm everywhere you can find me. So, okay. And I'm really passionate about my community. So
okay. And now let me help her out, because I'm low key trying to be her manager. All right. So she's also racked up. She literally has racked up millions of views. I'm counting the Meg Thee Stallion interview and countless other high profile interviews with Emmy Award winners, with hip hop legends. I know you just uploaded something with Master P. I get your notifications. And you interview a lot of really influential people. Like you said, you're on Bounce Around Charleston, which is still to me a very vital source where people get a lot of information. It's just you do a lot of things, so you have your ear to the ground and you know what's going on. I'm gonna do what we used to do on the back end. I'm gonna do it on the front. Where can people listen to you? Where can people find you? Like on the radio or on YouTube? Where can people find your content?
Facebook and Instagram, Kris Kaylin, Kris with a K, Kris Kaylin. Mm-hmm. Twitter, because Twitter was hating and they suspended my other account.
I saw that.
This is the thing. When I promote my interviews, I use the artist's music, so they suspended me for copyright infringement. So,
but what you supposed to do? I don't understand. It's music.
I need to be verified. I guess that's what it is. So I wasn't suspended for nothing crazy. But yeah. So my new Twitter is _Kris Kaylin. My website, Kris Kaylin Official. Everything, Kris Kaylin based. I'm also on Clubhouse. I just made a Twitch. I'm Kris Kaylin on Twitch. And make sure you connect with me. Outside is back open. So all my booking information is on my website. Yes. And I believe I covered all the bases.
Okay, so, cool. Yeah, and I think that's it. I wanted to put that up front as opposed to in the back. But I wanted to get your opinion, because I know that you've been leveraging your platform, meaning your time on the radio waves, talking about current events, specifically the rash of violence that has just taken over Charleston. Even before this more recent headline, you and I had a quick text exchange about you speaking out, and I'm gonna let you figure out what you want to say. But I think a shout out to Courtney Hicks. We've all kind of had maybe these side conversations, these ancillary conversations about what's going on here for a minute, not just a month, for a minute. And I just want you to just right now just express like what's bothering you, or what have you observed.
And I will say thank you for extending the platform, because when you text me, I was just like, you want me to come on your platform?
Girl, please, you helping me out. You doing me a favor.
But yeah, when you reached out to me, before that even happened. So when the Jamal Sutherland case came up, just starting from there, like one, I'm at this point where like I hate sharing Black trauma, but it's also in a certain point when I have the platform and I have these followers, and just kind of like, it's like, you feel like you have to relay the message and to share the message. So it's just kind of like, so that's where that started. So that has a mix of emotion, which is kind of like, okay, police brutality, like, you mean it's like that? Then it happened in January and we're just finding out. And it was just kind of like the domino effect of, are you serious? And then it's just kind of like, well, why isn't Charleston setting everything on fire? So it's just like all of these emotions, right? And so that's that thing. And then it's just like, okay, well, after, you know, they get fired, you know, we're still waiting on the answers. But, the thing when I realized in Charleston, when trauma happens, we just tend to like move on. Just kind of like, all right, cool. And it's just like, that's not normal. Like, that's not normal at all.
I talk about that a lot. Yep.
Yeah. So that happened. And then this weekend, so this is the thing. Normally, you know, I go out because I host events and things like that. But like this weekend, I was tired. I was like, you know, I need to get some sleep. So we cooked, stayed in, watched some Netflix. And like when I woke up the next morning, I had these text messages like, are you okay? Where were you? Da, da, da. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like complete confusion. I had no idea what was going on. So then like when I get on Facebook, first thing, it was a shooting at Gen X. It was a shooting at this team party. It was a shooting here. It was not just like, it was a shooting at Waffle House. So it's just like, what is going on? So like, you ever seen that SpongeBob meme when Mr. Krabs is just like, so spinning. That's how I felt. So it's just like, all this is happening. So, and mind you, so I think I wake up at like 9. So I have to go in and do a show at 11. So in the midst of this, like, I really don't have time to like get myself together because I have to go on, I have to discuss this. And I always tell people, like, when me and my program director talked, she was like, you know, keep your show fun and light, stay away from politics, stay away from, you know, just downers, you know, because you want to keep it up. You want to keep it entertainment. But it's like, I cannot be in this city and say I'm aware of things that's going on, my ears into the streets, and not acknowledge this at all.
Yeah.
So like, so I'm in the studio and it's just kind of like, and I will say when you get on social media, it's just like you see everyone's opinion. So then you have to come to the conclusion to form your own, right? And then also, secondly, because, you know, I'm a broadcaster first. So first and foremost, it's like, all right, I have to report the facts. Like, I really can't put my emotions and my personal thoughts, my personal feelings in there, but I still want to connect. So when I'm sitting down, like, I'm writing this out because I was like, I can't go off my head.
You can't do off the cuff. I learned that too.
No. I was just like, if I go off the cuff, it's going to go less fast. So like, I finally came up with something that I wrote. That's what I share on social media and my platforms. But just like coming back and just thinking about everything, it's just kind of like, first thing, like you said, because I was looking at one of your Twitches earlier, you don't want to reprimand anyone because that's not the time and the place for this. But in the same sense, we got to take some accountability. Right.
No, definitely that. And it was like a really, really tough line to walk because I'm furious at whoever took that. I'm talking about the one case, whoever took that young girl's, like, I am furious. Yeah. And I think that from us, the people in the community, that's warranted because we need to check each other and hold each other accountable. Right. I think I look at lawmakers a little different because, you know, but and it's the thing, we kind of talk about this is Black people business, right? I know it's, to me, culturally, we have to kind of collect our people a little bit different.
In house.
I can't,
like, what happens in my house stays in this house.
Yeah, I can't, what they said when I was going up to high school, my friends at Red Top used to say, don't be dancing to nobody else's family music. Like, I don't want the buckward dancing to my family music because we have to, you know, and I don't want this to be about Black. There's no such thing as Black on Black crime. People hurt who's closest. That was my only thing. But go back to, I want to lift you up and say, yes, we have to hold these people accountable, period. Got you. Yeah.
And it was just like a mixture of just everything happening. You know, you got social media, you have your Facebook, then you got your Twitter, and then you got your Instagram. So it's just like forming your own opinion. And then, like, to be quite honest, I haven't even had opportunity to really process the other shootings that happened, like the Generation X and Waffle House.
Because I didn't even know about the Generation X till you just said it. Oh my God, so many.
And in the lobby and other places. So like, and I think it was Chilling Grill too. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that one, but it was another shooting. But there was another gentleman that like my entire Facebook seemed to know, and he like passed at one of those locations. So it's just like, all of this trauma, and it's just like still trying to process these you have babies who were just massacred. And the thing about it, just like hearing after the fact, you have the one young lady who passed away, which is tragic.
Yeah.
But then you have these other 14 kids. And like, I realize I'm friends with some of their parents on Facebook who are coming home from injuries that they're going to have to deal with for the rest of their lives, trauma that they're going to have to deal with for the rest of their lives. And like I was talking to a coworker, it's just so much to unpack. Where do you start?
I don't know.
Like where do you start? Like,
I didn't mean to cut you off, but do you have the ability to engage with your audience? I know you, like on Instagram, I follow you the most on Instagram, and so you posted the Stop the Violence graphic, and you included a little excerpt from what you had to say from your show. I don't know if y'all do call-ins like that no more, but do people correspond with you, or people that listen to your show ask you questions or offer information?
So we're starting to do call-ins back.
Okay.
So the studio opened back up in May. So I'm happy about that.
Yes.
So I will be live this weekend. But it's just the thing with like interacting. So yes, people will interact on the post. They will share it. They will put their own captions with it, however it is. Yeah. But that's the point. We have to discuss it. It's just one of those things, like it can't be the pink elephant in the room. We have to talk. It's so many times we can ignore a situation and then it's like, this happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, this shouldn't be this. Like, why? Like,
it shouldn't. Like, I'm trying to grapple with it too. And hearing, you and I have we have an age difference. So I'm really interested in like what people in your age group are like thinking about. But it sounds like you got people calling you immediately when things went down. And I want to ask you personally, like, how do you feel about, you saying that outside is open now? It's shot girl summer, right? Everybody vaccinated. Right. and so like we out here, but like how do you feel about your appearances at some of these clubs?
And you know what? And that's really funny that you say that. So I was thinking about it, and it's just like, do I really feel safe at these locations? Because it's on one hand, you can't control what happens, but in another hand, you kind of can control. Granted, people are going to be people. They're going to do what they're going to do. But like, in a certain sense, I feel like if you're hiring me to come to your establishment, I need to know, because my whole thing is not only is this everyone else's safety, but if we're doing a business deal, I need to know that I'm going to make it out your establishment in one piece. Yeah. And it's just like, there have been events where as the host,
I heard
got choke slammed.
Oh my God.
Like, am I not on the flyer? Like, so, and that's the thing because I made a post earlier before all of this even happened. It was crazy. And I was just like, concert season is about to start. Charleston, make sure you have good security. Don't hire your cousin, your friends. You need legit security. Yeah. And it's just kind of like, I said that because at that Megan Thee Stallion concert, the person who did it, that wasn't even dressed in the security uniform. See what I'm saying? Oh, boy. So it's just kind of like, when it comes down to your establishments, these things need to be addressed. And a lot of times we don't like to talk about it because, it goes back to you saying like, what stays in the Black community happens in the Black community. So you don't want to say too many things on social media because it's like, I'm not downing you, but in the same
But we got to do better, right? Like,
we have to do better.
So let me ask you this, because I really do think you're going to be in another media market in the near future, wherever that is. But I know from just, so I know from being a little scallywag and undergrad in New York City area, that's where I went to college, that like when the radio station was at the club, of course it's New York City, you can't compare it, but you saw that. I had classmates, boyfriends who used to do security. They were big, whatever, but they were like real security. Do you feel like Charleston is stepping up like other markets, like an Atlanta, like a Charlotte, and like, do you see the push for some of these venues to act like you actually, are a bigger city? No, and
that's the thing. And that's the thing. It's just like, my whole thing is, I'm not saying security has to be like threatening, like, ooh, I'm gonna see you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But like, it should be a presence there. I don't feel like you should be dapping up every other person that you know. No. Like, you're here to do a job. Like, I should feel secure. And honestly, it's just kind of like, I would rather you hire someone who's not even from Charleston, someone that we don't know, someone who's not going to let you slide by, you and all your people behind you. Like, it has to be a sense of urgency, because my whole thing as security, you're responsible for these lives that come in here. If anything happens, well, how did this get in this club?
Yeah.
Oh, well, security let him in. That's going to be the first thing that happens.
Yeah.
Security let him in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like, like I said, it has to be accountability on every part. And granted, everything can't fall on security.
Right.
But like at a certain point, it's a checkpoint.
Yeah.
Like, and even if you don't have faith in your security team, like, are we against those little, what's the little metal detectors? Yeah. Are we
wands, the wands.
Yeah,
like, just get the wands. I don't get it. I don't know. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's just kind of like, how is this happening? If you have security out there who do have wands, who do wand people, how are people still getting your establishment with guns?
Yeah, I think the venues here in Charleston, sometimes they're not like legit. They're not like traditional clubs. The venues sometimes are being a strip mall, so that there could be some backdoor or something going on, or like there's so many things that kind of make me even like think twice about going out, because I'm like, well, is it really safe? And you know what they do? Right. They use the women free till 11 to get the dudes in, so it's mostly women in here, and it's just like, am I gonna be safe? And that Meg Thee Stallion thing, I ain't gonna lie, that was a while ago, but that Meg Thee Stallion thing was just like, we embarrassed ourselves a little bit.
A lot of it. A lot of it. Every time I think about that, I'm just like,
I'm like, yeah, but I go ahead. I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I just feel like the request that, patrons are making isn't ridiculous. I don't think it's out of the ordinary for them to want to know that their safety is like the number one priority. So I don't think that's anything ridiculous or anything that people should feel slighted that they want. No. Why should that should be an offensive question or a statement at all?
I just really wish that there were entrepreneurs who were committed to, you don't have to mimic another city. I know I brought up other markets, but you definitely, some things are just universal that have nothing to do with, they don't have anything to do with any other city. Just step up your security, step up your safety protocols. If you're going to get shut down time and time again, and I'm going to tread lightly with this next topic, so you engage how you want to, but there is a very popular venue that is always on the news, that always has police tape. And I just don't know. I think I tweeted this a month ago. I'm like, I really just wish someone would just embrace that owner and say, look, you don't have to, like, whatever you're doing, whatever you're selling, people are coming there with the expectation that violence is on the menu. And I don't know how we can collectively, like, lovingly affirm this entrepreneur and tell them, like, you don't have to, like, you can up your standards to provide a safe environment for your patrons. Like, I don't know. So I'm talking about, like, because I do want to practice some caution with it, because I do love my people. But how do you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, you want the people. And it goes back to remember we talked. I was just like, you don't want to sound like you're not hating on nobody.
No,
it's just like,
we want you to thrive.
We want you to thrive and to be prosperous in your business. But when it comes down, and like it's not the first incident, it's not the second incident, and it's just kind of like, it's not my job to sit up here and count how many incidents. But at what point? It's like, are you going to get a grip and like take responsibility? It has to be more than your brand, because at this point in time, your brand is affected from this. It's a ripple effect. Right. At a certain point in time, is this security? Yeah, it's security, but it falls back on you. You know what? And I'm going to make this comparison. I was watching this documentary on Netflix. It was something about money, but it was pretty much about when Wells Fargo was opening all these accounts.
I started watching it and I stopped it, but I know what you're talking about, the money one. Yeah. All that had that lady do all them fake accounts. Everyone do all those fake accounts. Yes.
So getting to the point when they went to court, the Maxine Waters and everyone, they were just kind of like, you're the CEO. Why do you not know all of this is happening? Like, why do you not know what's going on in each branch? Mind you, this is a Wells Fargo. So you know how many Wells Fargos it is in America?
Come on.
That wasn't the question. The question is, you're the CEO. You're responsible for everything. That's down to who got fired.
The buck stops there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You need to have an answer. Mm-hmm. So it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, it can't be, well, that's on security. That's not the final answer.
No.
That's not.
And then because you hired, you sort out security. You have the final say on who has that position in your establishment. Yeah, you're right. And you have to take some accountability. And I know people want to, I think the response I saw on Facebook to the thing we're not saying too much about. First of all, I do want to say there's a street code I ain't trying to violate. I ain't trying to have Kris violate either. So we ain't out here snitching on nobody. But we're gonna talk about it because it's in the headlines and it's in the public domain to a degree. But there I saw Facebook kind of embrace one entrepreneur and like, oh, it's okay. So and it's like, no, it's not okay. And like if it was your sister there or your cousin or your brother there, like I you know, yeah, I don't know. It's not.
And you know what's crazy? So I didn't even know that I follow the gentleman's sister on Twitter, and just seeing her tweets and how she's grieving. Like, I feel bad for this young lady, and this is something that I see daily on a timeline, and you can't tell people that's how she's grieving. Like, this is a lot. So like, you just have to be empathetic to all of that and just consider everything. So it's just kind of like, those are just things you have to consider when you're being an entrepreneur. Like I posted, it's just kind of like, you have to keep in mind how the things you do impact others, regardless big or small. Like what you do impacts other people. And that can become it can be 2 people, 20 people, 200 people, but people are impacted.
Do you think these venues, you think they're thriving off of like maybe street cred? Like, oh, people know this place is gonna be. You think that's what it is?
Well, that too, and like realistically, I don't want to. Black people aren't really. Well, I haven't been on King Street in a long time, so
who has?
Let me put my like I haven't. So I don't know if it changed, but I'm pretty sure it hasn't. But like, Black people don't really feel welcomed on King Street. When we go on King Street, we don't hear the music you want to hear. They do play is that. So like, nobody want to hear that all night.
Wait, what was that?
Like, no one wants to hear that all night. No one wants like these college kids stepping on their shoes, spilling their drinks. So it's just kind of like, I mean, you can go to your certain clubs on King Street that have that like that vibe, but it's like, if you got your boyfriend, is your boyfriend gonna get in? If you got on sneakers, then like
we know.
So like, you have all of that, right? So then it's just kind of like, all right, well, you go to North Charleston where most of the Black clubs are and all this other stuff. So like, I don't think there'll ever be a place as to where like they won't have business. Like any given night, like whatever, starting Wednesday up, you can go into a club starting happy hour, and there are people going to be there from all the way deep in Monk's Corner, from Atlantis, all the way down.
So So this is what I'm gonna ask you, and I know again I want to acknowledge our age difference, but I was out like by the time you was a little girl when I left. Like I was out and went back. Like I went back up to New Jersey after high school. After I graduated from St. Andrews, I was gone. But what I remember, and I don't expect you to remember my time period when I left, but I want you to tell me, like, if you remember, there was like, wasn't there more variety for Black people closer to the peninsula? Wasn't there more things?
Yeah, I believe it was like Toucan Reef or something like that. Now, mind you, I was so young.
I know, but
it was like I think it was a club where the aquarium is on Facebook or Twitch. If you know it, please feel free to chime in.
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me ask one person. Kia, you my age. Kia, if you're still watching, drop like other like old Black clubs or things that used to be around either King Street or even West Ashley. There were things in what
it was like.
I remember coming back.
Yeah. LJ's used to be on King Street. My mom, LJ's used to be.
Yeah, ask your mama. No, but like, because I remember like when I would come home for like spring break, or if I come home for the holidays or whatever, I remember meeting up with my other friends who came home, and there was stuff to do in West Ashley. There was stuff to do. Like, we didn't have to go to North. Like, not to say North Charleston was bad, but you could be around Charleston. You didn't have to go that far.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
okay. Wait. Amethyst says Titanic and Toucan. Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you, Amethyst.
And I remember when I was like younger, and I was like, I can't wait to turn 18 because like all the clubs were downtown. Like nobody really was going. And then I think, I don't want to say Kush was the first one, but like the Kush was the first one I was able to get into. Okay. If a party at the Kush, you know I gonna be there, and I was in there having a ball.
No, and that's what I wanted you to remember. Like when I know you went to school in state, so maybe when you came home on your break, like what was around? Was there anything to do? Yeah. Somebody on Twitch is saying there was some places on East Bay too. Yeah, I remember that.
It was a ton of places on East Bay Street. But like and you know, that's the thing. So like when I was at state, when I would come down, it would just be like King Street. Cause I'm trying to think like nothing was really going on North Charleston. Because when I was in state, that was like, what, 2012, 2016.
Okay.
So I really don't know like what the Charleston scene was looking like then. But when I did come home, I would just go on King Street. A little, like, it was what it was.
No, and I see,
So,
so Kia is my age, so she remembers the Armory in Hampton Park Terrace, and someplace called Acme. I don't know about that. I don't remember that one, but the Armory sound familiar. Again, that might predate you, but the fact of the matter is, I know Amethyst and Kia both can speak to, like, there was things here, and it's just, you said it's not inviting, and people think that when we say things are not inviting, we think that we're just being harassed by police. No, it's like you said, they don't play our music. Our culture's not reflected in any of the tourism.
Right.
And
I will never forget when I went down to Public House, and it was normally like a night that they play hip hop. Like, they had a whole country band in there, and it was just like, oh, okay, cool. Too many Black people. Then it was like, you'll go down. Silver Dollar would do the same thing. So it's just kind of like, once I got to a point, especially after last summer, I have not been on King Street. Like,
what about the Commodore? How was the Commodore? Because when I moved back here, that was like something.
I went there for an event. Commodore is cool. I never had any issues with the Commodore. Yeah. Like, they have live music. Yeah. So if you like live music, I've never seen, I can't speak ill on the Commodore. Right. So, and they always have a line wrapped around the building. So it's obviously something in there. No.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And I'm going to go back to the Public House real quick, because we got to talk about that history at the Public House. I don't know if people remember this. A few years ago, a white, you remember this? It happened in Columbia, but the ownership is like all these public houses. Yep. It was Jimmy LaTulipe or LaTulip or whatever his name was. It was Jimmy LaTulipe or whatever it was called. But he ran the public house in Columbia, and that dude says he doesn't hire N-words. He said that to white people, and then he thought that white person was gonna be like, yeah, kill him. Like, nah, that white person's like, hell, who the hell are you? Like, the white person got bucked and put it on Facebook, and it went viral. And I remember that oh my God, his name escapes me, but I followed him after that, and I went to go see him at the Poorhouse. Not my music, but I appreciate this white man standing up and like, like, yo, you can't say this. And outing him, and I remember I kept calling the Public House to see if he actually sold his stake in the thing, and they just stopped answering my calls. They stopped, and no one to this day. Right. So it doesn't alarm me, it doesn't surprise me that the Public House has that culture of, we're gonna switch up hip hop night to like fucking achy breaky Billy Ray Cyrus night.
Literally, every club on King Street, Ink and Ivy, before they rebranded. I'll never forget.
Wait, they rebranded?
Yeah, I think it's just Ink now.
Oh, okay. But do they still do like the black brunch? Well, I know things been shut down, but
I couldn't tell you. Okay. I have not been there in a minute.
Let me not even talk about it.
Last time I went
Last time I talked about that establishment, somebody boyfriend tried to kill me. So I
it's so not funny.
No, it's funny now because I'm like, oh my God. No, I laugh about it all the time. No, real quick, let me look at the Twitch chat. Let me just switch topics so I don't get you in trouble. But let me see. Wet Willies. Wet Willies, I remember.
On King Street. I mean, on King Street.
On East Bay. Yep.
Yes, it was. I was so pressed to go there when I turned 18. I was so pressed to go there. Got to call a cab, and I had to call a cab.
Yep. It says, that's what somebody said. They said, at least from what I could remember, before call a cab knocked me out. Right. Call a cab.
That was that deadly thing. Oh my God.
I ain't never had that shit. But
don't get it.
Yeah. But no, it was just some more variety there instead of just like just what we see now. Yeah.
And I'll even say, growing up in high school, like, we had team parties. We had
that's what I was trying to talk about. Then that's what I was trying to talk about, the team parties that existed. Yes.
Yeah. Like, we had TIA Banquet Hall, Red Room, like different parties I could think about, and it was just always a good time. Like, the worst part was everybody was sweating when they was leaving because we had such a good time. So it's just kind of like, I can only think of one party, and it's if anyone who's in my age, it was Hourglass. No one got shot. It was just kind of like, it was a lot of chaos in the middle of Savannah Highway. People were running, but no one got hit. Girl, listen. That night, it's like one of those things, looking back, is just like,
I survived.
I got like super strength. I remember jumping over two speakers and like just out through a busted glass window. Like, I don't know who I was.
Because
like,
you were a dancer. After you were using your dancing skills.
That's what it was. But I was gone. Like, I just ran to McDonald's on Savannah Highway. We just never stopped running. But like, it's just like all of at those high school parties, like nothing ever. Yeah, people would fight, but like it was never. We had to worry about shooting. Like, so that's why it blows my mind, and I have to keep in mind that like it's the pandemic.
Yeah,
people have been pretty much locked in their house. These high schoolers did not get the traditional the senior or high
prom,
school
nothing, graduation, nothing was the same.
So like, and I feel like it's one of those like cabin fever type things. Like now that people are starting to come outside, all this built up aggression or whatever it is that any excuse? Absolutely not, because like that was a massacre. Like I just really,
it's crazy. Like, and I can't even wrap my mind around what would lead someone to go to it looked like a regular old cookout that you would see in any old neighborhood, like a good old time. And for who would bring a gun, and second of all, you just start spraying everybody. Like,
and the thing about it is just kind of like, so they said it was a fight in front of the stage. My whole thing is, even whoever got the gun. This is supposed to be a teen party. So how do you even get your hand on this type of weapon? So like that's where I'm just kind of like, if this child is 18 and under, then that's where the accountability falls in.
Yeah.
Okay, so like if this child is like 17, parents.
Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah. I think, and like I said before, you're right. It's like and somebody on the news, a black gentleman, I can't remember, but I played a clip on the other Twitch episode, the last one, about that. Like, where are the parents? It's so many layers to it, but you do wonder, like, how the hell do you get your I was such a scaredy cat girl. Like, I didn't even want to pick up a butter knife, let alone.
Listen, I went to the gun range for the first time, like, I think last year. I was just like, girl, I was so scared to pull a trigger.
That's me.
Like, oh my God.
Everybody's like, Tamika, you gotta get. It was like, you gotta get a gun. I'm like, no, I gotta get security. Like, I don't like. I don't know.
Can I just get a taser that just goes at least 30 feet? Something, we'll figure it out.
I'm literally looking at stuff like that. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's just kind of like accountability, and it's like I said, when you said peeling back the layers, like I told someone, it's like peeling back an onion, because there's just so many things. And it's just like, once again, you don't want to start saying, well, you should have been doing this, you should have been doing this. But then I'm seeing a lot of, well, I didn't know my child was there.
Right.
Tamika, I am 27 years old. My mama know where I'm at till this very moment.
Who you telling? I'm 40 years old, and my mama just checked me like, what you doing after work? Yes.
So it's just kind of like, so I did reach out, and I'm asking if those who have mentorship programs for teenagers, or who are hiring teenagers for this summer, please share that information with me. Because once again, it's just kind of like, it's a village. But then on the other sense, I saw with someone saying that like things started to change when people got upset when the village corrected their children. If you realize, a lot of people do not like you correcting their children. They don't, and it's just kind of like, I don't have kids, so I can't necessarily speak on that. But I agreed with that when I saw that.
Yes.
So, and like I said, it's just like peeling back the layers, but making sure like we as a Black community, especially in Charleston, because the summer hasn't even started.
No, it ain't like, even hot yet. And it's like,
it's not even hot. It's just
No, I think you're right, but I'm glad that you just looked it up, some sort of solution. You and Rajon Lewis, you know, he's always active on Facebook with his show and his platform, and he's a big time mentor, a big mentoring presence, and he said he's going to have a discussion with young people. This is what I think. I honestly think these kids need like their own outlet. I think they need to, I honestly think like me, like Rajon, if you're listening, if you watch this later, I think people like you and Rajon, like, I'm not telling y'all you need to do this, but it'd be great to give these kids like a platform, like give them, I feel like their voices want to be heard. I feel like when I go to these tougher schools, the poetry that, like I talked about this on my Twitch yesterday, like the poetry these kids are like, they just want an outlet. They want to rap, they want to write stories, they want to do something. Yeah, fashion. And
that's what, and I just feel like with the pandemic, it really stopped a lot of things, because like I used to go to these schools, do that whole, lunch buddy thing, but it's just kind of like, it stopped a lot of mentors from coming in, and like, it just stopped a lot. But that's why it's just kind of like, that can't be an excuse now. Like, we're seeing what's happening. They need a mentor. They need some type of other figure there. Now that doesn't stop parents from being parents. No. The parents still have to be responsible and do the due diligence and make sure what they're carrying that up at home. Like, my whole thing is, you can do 50% outside of the home, but you have to keep up that other end to make sure it's like getting through to the kid. But like, and that's something that I really, really, I want to do. And that's why I was telling you earlier when I was talking to my mom, I was like, when I think about it, when I was that age, like you said, I had something to do. I had something constructive to do.
You about to get me into my next question, because while me and you just acknowledged that this has layers, we just acknowledged there's more than one solution. The one reason why I like to talk to you, and I want people to know, like, you're not just an on-air personality. You are a pretty face, but you are more than that. What I was more impressed about was learning more about your extracurriculars. Of course, your mom was a Hall of Fame athlete, like a legend that we need to be always giving flowers. Shout out to the Avery and other institutions who have commemorated your mother's career. But your mother kept you. You're a dancer. You were a beauty queen. Like, can you tell me about how? Because I think that's what I benefited from too. Like, I love the library. I was a geek with buck teeth, but like, so I was but I had my interest. I love the library.
Right.
I read a book.
Right.
But tell me about your interest in your extracurriculars growing up.
So growing up, I started dancing when I was 7. So my dad got me involved in dance, which is really funny. So he used to play at Alice. Alice is the new El Toro on King Street.
Okay.
It used to be a Black restaurant. We would go every Sunday and he would play in his band.
Oh.
And like, I would always get up to the front. I would start dancing. And then that's when my now dance teacher came up and she was like, you need to sign her up for dance. So that's how that started. So from age 7 up until I graduated high school, that's all I did.
Oh, wow.
So I went to James Simmons up until 5th grade. From there, I went to School of the Arts. Okay. Shout out to all my Pegasus tuning in.
Yes.
But, I was a dance major, so it was just like High School Musical. It was cool, but also like my mom's whole thing was like, you need to be able to go on both sides of the track. So like I was cheering. I think in 7th grade I started cheering for Burke. I was on a cheerleading squad. Okay. And then in 8th grade, the band director, shout out to Mr. McLeod, he came up to my dad and he was just like, she should be dancing. I want her to dance on the charisma line. It's like, I'll never forget. And looking back, when I'm just kind of like, you gotta know how to go on both sides of the track. I appreciated that when I got to state. So like when I first got there, I hated it. I wanted to quit. The girls were so mean.
Oh wow!
But, like,
wait, so when your mom said that, she mean like you need to toughen up a little bit, like not just be a girl.
Yeah, because I was at SOA, so she didn't want me to be
yeah.
Like I know the term Oreo is very offensive, right? But like my mom. Sorry, I don't want to offend anybody.
No, I got you. What you mean?
Listen,
yes, okay.
My mama was not hearing that. Like, no. So she was just like, I was just like, Mom, I want to do this. I'm gonna quit. She was like, you're not quitting. So from there, I had to get some tough skin. Ended up working out great. Ended up becoming charisma captain. But like, so from there, so like just seeing how I was involved. So I was dancing at SOA. Dancing after school for Burke.
Wow.
Then I would dance on the weekends with Linda Harvey. Shout out to Linda Harvey. So I'd be dancing on the weekends there. And then sometimes I would do 2-a-days and I would go from Linda, then I'll go to the Y. So like I was dancing 7 days a week. Wow. When I did have free time, like I would, get invited to the little Jack and Jill. I wasn't in Jack and Jill, but I always got an invitation.
Yeah.
Shout out to the friends, the little girl who came off the project, she fit in really well. It was one of those type things. So like I always could blend and mesh and just and carry the conversation. So like from there, I was just always involved. Like even with the band, we would take trips to go to Canada, New Orleans, Florida.
See, that's my point. That's my point. You knew that there was a life outside of just 843, area code.
And I realized that. So like even so after that, I went to State. I was super involved at State. I started my own web series. And like I always kind of marched to the beat of my own drum. I'll say that. But like, I felt like it all started from what was fostered to me back home. That attention, that if this is something you're going to do, you have to put your all into it. So like, I would say with both my parents, it was never if you're going to do something, you're going to half-ass it. No. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it the right way.
Well,
my mom, yeah.
Oh, somebody's saying shout out. Kia saying she was in Jack and Jill. She's like, LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The best parties ever.
Yep. So I wonder, so this is kind of like maybe not a sad question. So out of all things you just listed, or what happened at, you at SOA, Burke, how many of those things still around today? I know those teachers are. I know some of those teachers are but how many of those things are still around today? I know you mentioned the club is not there anymore where your dad played. Right. But what about those programs? Any of those, are they still around? Like I know Burke is still around.
Yeah, Charisma Dance Line is still there.
Okay.
Shout out Miss Shamisha. She's
Good.
still teaching that.
Good.
Miss Linda is still there. The Y is not located on Cannon Street anymore.
No.
That is the heartbreaking part.
Yes.
But Y Dance still exists.
Okay.
Now it's in Caneberry.
Okay.
So
okay.
Right. So you got to take that hike. But I will say the program is excellent.
Okay.
Like they listen every time because I'll help with the recitals. Obviously, I didn't have one this year.
Right.
But every time seeing those brown girls and boys up there tapping and doing ballet, and they're just so happy. And like, I love seeing kids in the arts. I know it's other things that people involved in things like that, but that's like my niche where I feel happy, where I love seeing other Black kids excel who look like me. Because I excelled in the arts, but it wasn't a lot of Black people who look like me.
No,
so like,
but you were the kid. When I was growing up, you'd be the kind of kid that I would want to be. Like, I wanted to be in gymnastics. I wanted to be either in ballet or something like that, or tap and stuff like that. I think you're right. But when you saw that one beautiful like chocolate chip or that really, that dope person, you like, oh, I want to be like that too. You're right. If you see it more, you want to be it more. Right.
And I will say, I always, even for Black History Month, I gave my dance teacher Linda her flowers. Linda was the first dance teacher where I've ever seen Black girls on point ballet shoes. I've never seen it in my entire life.
Wow.
Linda was the only company, the Divine Dynamic Dancers, we were the only dancers in the city of Charleston that were dancing in point shoes, that were like doing real ballet.
Bona fide ballet, yeah.
Bona fide ballet. So it's just kind of like now just seeing like how many more brown dancers there are. It's just kind of like, I always give her respect where it's due, because I was just like, no one was doing that. And like, even back, I skipped a couple things, like, and it goes back always a village when I think about it, because when I danced with Linda, she was an AKA, which is the reason why I wanted to be an AKA, but also it introduced me to being a debutante. So I had the opportunity to be a debutante. Okay. I had the opportunity to be a belle in the boa fair.
Oh, you were boa fair? You were in boa?
Yeah, girl. I was Charleston. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just so many layers. And it's just like, I feel like kids should be able to experience that. Like, every time I see the Beyonce Brownstein girl video, I cry.
Why do I cry? Why do I cry? I never cry like that. Mm-hmm.
Like, me either. And it's just I'm standing there. I was just like, what is wrong with my face? But just like seeing that imagery, like, how special
No, I hear you now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but to see that imagery and to know how special a debutante ball is, like, my dad was so proud to escort me and present me. Aww. And it's just like, I feel like every Black girl should have that feeling. And it's just like, it's one of those things in a village as to where like a parent can't do everything, but you, like my mom, she wasn't an AKA, but my village made sure I was a debutante.
Right. No, you're right. And exactly that. I talk about a lot how I grew up. My parents worked a lot. They worked a lot, so there had to be, and I had older brothers and sisters that were like significantly older, so they could, but they wasn't dragging me around. Like, they was 10 years older than me and my twin brother, but like, we had sports. Like, one thing my brother had was definitely, he excelled in sports, and that we either had that or we were in the church. We were real churchy growing up, but we had all those surrogate aunties who would just take us wherever my parents couldn't be. We had family that would take us, and extended family, and and you had people who took you to fancy restaurants, so you knew how to eat, and you knew, like, when that time came and you got older, you knew how to order food, and you knew all etiquette and all that other stuff. I think that's the thing that we don't have enough of, and this is where I get into the activist lens or apply my activist lens, is when, like, and Letitia and Mara brought this up in the chat yesterday. There's so many oppressive forces that just push, like, so now parents are working double hard for like half the pay, right? You don't have those good benefits. You don't have union jobs. Like, there's so many things I think really disrupt the family, the Black family specifically, to where it's hard for us to even create that village. But you're right. And I'm not trying to romanticize, because it's crime that happened when I was younger, all the other stuff. But I feel like it's harder than ever, especially in Charleston, to have a piece of that, like, even if you grew up in the Jacks, even if you grew up in wherever, suburbs, the Oof, you call Oak Forest, we used to call it the Oof. Wherever you at, like, you used to have, it just feel like you used to have more Black people, more Black homeowners, more Black, like, upwardly mobile people. I don't know. It's really tough. I just feel like everyone has just been really shifted. They're shifted to like Somerville, Nexton area.
So it's just kind of like it goes back to that same feeling on King Street. You're not really wanted down here.
Mm-mm.
You're tolerated.
You're tolerated. You're not invited. You're tolerated. And
like,
if I ever got drunk and start running down the street like them white girls, then somebody would put a damn baton on my ass so quick. If I
and now I'm seeing like King Street, they're doing like all this enforced, no teens, and then the underage drinking. It's just kind of like,
oh yeah, the curfew now, that's gonna be tricky because ain't nobody gonna tolerate that. That's gonna really, I think if they keep trying to prevent what happened last year, it won't happen again. Like that thing that happened after George Floyd is like, they don't understand that's not like something that's gonna keep occurring unless they do shit like the curfews and like trying to really just keep black people off of King Street.
That's really what it is. Like when I saw that, I was just kind of like this, and they were just like, when you hear about the fight, I was like, oh, okay, they're just doing this because of black people. Like they're trying to make it seem like it's for no, it's for black people.
It will be, because that's the people that are going to get policed disproportionately. Even though you got whole CFC right there with them young underage girls right there, and boys.
Everybody with the shorts and the Vans, like, do they not look 17? But here you are harassing a grown man.
Seriously, and the more you police black bodies, like, it's not, some people have, I'm not justifying violence, I'm not justifying anything, but when you constantly are harassed for what you wear, for what music, how you talk, it's just like you're gonna have a response that that people ain't gonna like.
And then it happens to what we were saying earlier. It's like either you're gonna respond back to them, or you're gonna but you're gonna go North Charleston, and it's just kind of like, then you have to say, well, I can go to this place or this place. And it's just kind of like, it's just like, it's like a really bad cycle. And that's like on our end as black entrepreneurs, I don't want someone to say, dang, I got to go here or here. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go here. Like, that should be the reaction.
That should be the reaction.
Like, it shouldn't be, I'm concerned as to what might happen when I go there. Or like,
yeah. And Chrissy, all my friends who come from other places ask me like, well, where do you go? Where the black people at? And I'm like, North Charleston, but look, now I'm a
at your discretion.
So now I'm gonna have my little East Coast bias, and now I know all my Southern people gonna hate me. But I ain't trying to go nowhere with no dudes wearing no linen suits. Like, I ain't trying to go and listen to that blues music. I don't like that blues music.
Don't go to Chucktown Bar and Grill. Besides that, you gonna get your Southern soul.
Like, I know I'm 40, but I'm juicy. Like, no, we not doing. I don't like that vibe. Like, what happened to, like, why can't I hear 90s hip hop? Like, why can't I hear, like, I don't want to hear that two-step music. Sorry, y'all, but that...
It's just kind of like, it's no happy medium. It's either you're going to hear the two-step or you're going to hear hip hop. It's just kind of like
damn.
It's no bling. Or it's like, or you go downtown and so it's just like, at this point in time, you might do well at a silent headphone party, but that's like once every blue moon. So I don't know to tell you.
And I don't like that, because then I feel like I gotta watch my back, like, because I don't know what's going on.
Because it's true. It's so
shout out to all the DJs that do it. Shout out DJ Script. Shout out everybody who do it.
We appreciate all of you. We really do.
So Kia said no blue steam suits. No, I don't want to.
Rest in peace, blue steam.
R.I.P.
Okay.
All right.
That was an error. Get you a 3-piece suit, Obama special. They used to love to use Obama name, and I know that man did not clear that.
No.
You went to the Obama an Obama corner store on Dorchester Road.
Oh my God, no! Oh yeah, I thought I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm like, Obama did not open it. I said it better be some African man in there called Obama, like, for real. Blue Steams and all Dickies. Somebody wrote, no.
Yeah, all Dickies too. Listen. And that's the thing, it's like, so they have like a 90s cookout. I wanted to go to the 90s cookout, but now I'm unsure. And it's just like all of these different things happening in the city, and I just don't want it to be that way.
I'm dying to have a 90s thing. I'm gonna hit up like Royal American and people. So that's the other thing. There are some venues that fuck with black people, that fuck with hip hop.
Yeah.
Royal American's one. I'm trying to think.
Definitely one of them.
I'm trying to think. I hope that's not the only one. Wait, was that the only?
I know. It's like, it's a long pause.
Yeah. And I mean, they might have the Black Diamond Band.
Purple Buffalo.
Purple Buffalo. Yes.
Love black people.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had an issue with Purple Buffalo at all.
Nope.
I think Dan is still there.
Yeah.
Dan is cool. Never had an issue.
Yup.
And,
yup. Hey, Jessica.
Yeah.
but I'm trying to, wait, hold on, I cut you off, but I'm trying to think other places. But I would love to have, like, because we know that, like, with Royal American, first of all, they let me bring the Black Voters Matter bus there. Plus, you had Matt Monday's Cultura Fest there. It would have been 2 times had it not been for hating ass Rona. But
she just ruined a lot of stuff.
She really did.
She's a hating asshole. But like, I just feel like we have to, like, with this summer happening, like, we have to be 2 steps ahead. Like, we know this is happening. So if they're, like I said, if they're a program, they need something to do, because that's what it is. It's just, it's too much time. You have too much time on your hand just to be like idle.
Well, I do hope that you, I don't know what your ambitions are. Like, well, I don't know what you would like to share with folks watching. Like, what are your ambitions in terms of being a personality? Of course, we would hate to, I always talk about you will be leaving, because I do think your ascension is, like, inevitable. But, like, while you're here and while we have the pleasure, what are your plans and aspirations for, like, being a personality in the music scene or in the entertainment industry?
In the entertainment industry, I definitely want to, because I always tell people, like, I'm gonna have get my face on TV, and it's just like, I'm at this point as to where I'm working on my own pilot for a TV show. So it's just kind of like, you don't have to put me on TV, I'm gonna put myself on there. But like, as far as my aspiration, I definitely, like, my end goal, I want to be on a syndicated show. That's where I see myself end goal.
Like a talk show?
Right now. Yeah, talk show, radio show, preferably talk show. Okay. But I mean,
Kris, you gotta find you a good, hungry, talented.
I need a manager.
You need a manager, but you need a publicist. You need somebody to get you. Because one thing, this the one thing I'm trying to figure out. Like, so y'all, I dabbled in politics, and so when I dabble in politics and I work with a certain artist, part of that was navigating how to get this artist to talk about the politics, of course, but get that artist on TV. So like I got that artist on CNN. I got that artist on certain things, right? Like and like the other stuff that probably. But my point was, like, what I learned behind the scenes was, like, the relationships with the show bookers and no, because
those are the relationships that really matter.
Producers always looking for show content. They always and I noticed how like this one national news network that keeps calling the same Black dude because he created that relationship to talk about politics. I'm like, damn, it's like there's more than one Black person, and it's not just I'm not just talking about politics. I'm seeing it with everything. So this is one thing I'm not trying to be a publicist, but I'm trying to, even with me. I've even noticed with me, like, I've plateaued in Charleston. I know people are like, well, you don't even have Kris Kaylin's following. No. I have a different, I'm like a micro influencer compared to you.
Yes, you are. You have a following.
Right. No, and I do, because the man that delivered the pizza, I keep running to people at the insurance company and everything. They say they listen to me. So clearly I'm doing something right.
Listen, I was at this influencer dinner and this girl was like, yeah, I saw you on TV. I love her so much. Like, girl, you got to get your fans come telling me how much you love me.
I appreciate that.
You have a following.
Girl. And so, what I know right now, and I don't even mind talking about this publicly, because first of all, I saw you a year ago, 2 years ago. You were claiming that you're going to be on the red carpet. You're going to be, at these high profile events. You're going to be at the BET Awards. I honestly think it's not easier, but it's not as hard as people think once you start creating those relationships in other markets. And yeah.
And no, it's funny you say that. So it's just kind of like, I tried one in, because the BET Awards is back this year. I tried one in. That end was just whatever. So I tried a second one. So I'm waiting for that second one to get back with me. But I was just like, I was sitting there, and it's just like, when you have, I'm getting to this point where I was like, when you have contacts and people give you their contact, use it. And it's just kind of like, you don't, and I'm realizing it's like, I'm that person like, oh, I don't want to see them. Like, I'm asking them. No, this is why they gave me their contact to ask them for stuff, because they're in a position to do it. And like, I had this person's number for like over a year, about 2 years. And I was just like, this is the first time I just really ever asked for anything. That person was just like, you know what, no problem. Let me circle back. I'll get with you by the end of this week. So like, I'm just, crossing my fingers, crossing my toes, because I need to be in that radio room.
Well, I've been talking to you up. I've been talking to you up. Corona like virus ended a lot of things, but there's producers that come here and they want to talk about Charleston, and this ain't no shade to any Black man out here. I would never stop a Black person's bag, no matter how many bags they've already tried to knock out my hand. That's cool. I'm the bag lady behind the low key, high key. Period. They can talk shit about me all day, but they can talk shit about me all day. But talk about that bag. Come on, like, come on. If you want to say shit about me, just tell them I got you that bag, son. But one thing I realized before Rona is like, when these producers call, I'm trying to float your name more so you can get on that Showtime special. You can get on that CNN just to talk, even if it's just to talk about Charleston, just get on there, you know. And I think that's what people really, and they always go for the same man. They always go for the same couple of men. I'm like, damn it, this city is run by Black women too now.
And that's the thing. It's just kind of like every time, I don't even know if you noticed, but every time I interview like a celebrity or something, I always ask a question that directs it back to Charleston so we can have something to say about Charleston and for Charleston to be acknowledged. Yep. And it was just kind of like, I always told people, I was like, if I was a man doing what I'm doing,
you wouldn't.
I would have been like, I'm not dealing with, like, I would have to state my price twice. Like, so many things I would not have to do, and just so many hoops. And like a lot of times I think I'm tripping and I'm just like, nah, maybe that's not the case.
And what's really funny with you, like, I got shit that I got to deal with being like dark skinned and being a woman of size, right? I'm like, wait, she cute, she petite, she dance, she a beauty queen, she on the radio, goddamn it, she got a command of the English language, she's an effective communicator, like she went to college, she went to HBCU, goddamn, what the fuck? Why she not like?
That's the thing, it's just like, what more do you want? Like, it's like I do my own content, I produce my own spots. It's just like,
you do, and that's the other part. You create your own content, like you said. You started in college, creating your own shows. You doing it again now. And the one thing, yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say,
just to pop my shit, but a lot of times I have to tell people, it's like, you know, I had a full blown show for 3 seasons. I can do that again at the snap of my fingers. Like, it's so many things, and even when it comes down to like the music thing, like a lot of times I don't did the way I know I do, because I just be going off on Instagram. But it's just like in the grand scheme, I need people to understand, right? And it's like I always tell people, disclaimer: I don't do radio for the money, because you get paid elephant peanuts. Yeah. But the amount of stress, and I have to grab my eyebrows. Yeah. The amount of stress for the factory, like Tamika, that's a $10 show. You know that, right?
What show?
That's a $10 show. I get paid $10 an hour. That's an hour show.
The Music Factory. Wow.
All the extra, everything extra, from content to curating the music to putting it into staying at the studio over. Then people got the audacity to say, "Can you go live while you do it?" No.
No. And they don't understand how hard that is.
Like just the prep to do that, and then it's just kind of like, oh, well, you're not putting in new music every Sunday. Do you know how long that takes for $10? I'm not doing it. That's why I'm doing it for the love, but like also in the same sense, y'all chill.
No, it's not the same comparison. Like you work at, like, you know, the urban station in Charleston, and I just was at little nonprofit Radio Ohm. But I remember how much I had to teach myself how to run the boards. I had to teach myself how to do radio on my own. Teach myself how to work mics, and then make sure that they downloaded my show so I can have a file so I can then put it on my podcast, and teach myself how to edit that and upload that. Like,
it's so many steps before you get to this one. Like, it's so many steps before you just hear your music.
Yeah, and then you book in, like you said, Music Factory. So you're sourcing the artist. I'm supposed, like, you're figuring out a way to get the artist to submit their music, to submit it in compliance with FCC regulation. You know, eyebrow.
Because last week, as an artist, love that artist to death, but I messed around. Because you know they normally sit there and submit their music the right way. So I was like, I'm gonna just play it on air, off rip. I know they submitted right. First word I heard was nigga. I knew I was losing my job. I just knew I was losing my job. Like.
And I don't know what that is, and so like, and I ain't gonna lie, you know I love hip hop, so I definitely want to have like a hip hop show, but I definitely it's not gonna be like, I ain't never gonna like I said, I ain't never gonna knock your bag out. I'm never gonna compete with yours. But I'm like, well, damn, like don't like, because I'm like, well, maybe I can play the R-rated.
You can play the explicit ones. You can play. I have so many R-rated songs I can forward to you right now because I don't understand. It's just like I have people who don't submit music who was like, damn, Kris, you saying that again? They still submit dirty music?
I know.
Like you're like, ma'am, you're an accountant. Why do you even know this? But I appreciate you.
No, I swear to God. No, one time I said, damn, is she just being like a hard ass, or they really just like not listening to directions? And I know they're not listening to directions. But no, yeah, if y'all got a throw baby remix freestyle that y'all need to play over here. Because I don't know if she watching anymore. Amethyst, if you watching, this is the dream. The dream is to do a live event. I've already like started working with. It's crazy. Okay, we and you gonna have to have a lunch. Me, you, and Amethyst gonna have to have a lunch because
as long as Amethyst is on, as long as Amethyst is cooking.
Yeah, okay, no, remember how I told her, I said the conjure sessions thing. I said that didn't work out the way I wanted to. Initially, we were supposed to be at this black on Airbnb on James Island, big ass house, like where people could have fell out if they wanted to, right? We were supposed to be there, but it fell through. No shade to them, it just fell through. And we were supposed to have like, it was things I wanted to make it blackity black with a real chef, right? And shout out to our chef, but I wanted like a big, like, like everything. And yeah, go ahead.
My aunt has an Airbnb. Her house is really big. It's on John's Island, and she's black, bliggity black. Like she got pictures of Barack Obama around her house.
Okay. Amethyst. And I pay. Y'all know I pay. So we gonna do this. And so I wanted to have like a real, like, just mad food, invite only, of course, black people come and enjoy the culture. And I want to create these cultural moments in Charleston or around Charleston, because the John's Island is completely fine, like, because that's about to get taken over too. But
girl,
but I think I would really want to do that. But with Amethyst too, with her being back home, I think it's important for us to keep having this conversation, because you don't ever see any black women cooks. You don't ever see any black women chefs. Like,
never.
They don't put the mic in front of these women who are actually creating culture and who are cultural, like, torchbearers. You are a cultural torchbearer. Like you said, like your mama had you walking both sides of the track. So,
and I agree with you. I just feel like a lot of times, like, and I don't know if sometimes I just feel like we're in a bubble, but it's just like when I see things, I'm just like, Tamika would have been great. But like, I just, it's so many black women locally.
I always think that.
From Michelle Perry, who had this entire.
We didn't even get to that. We didn't even get to Michelle.
Michelle is just like. I'm so in awe of her.
No,
like
she was the first one.
So chill
She's
about it.
Minding her business. Minding her business.
She's not a big deal. Like,
and she's a big deal. And she's a big deal.
A huge deal.
And that's how I want to do it. Like, she not stingy. She'll call you. She'll text you. She'll email you.
She wants you, and she will not only will she do it one time, it will be a repeat, like multiple times.
She'll keep calling you.
And if you recommend somebody, she will use them most. And like, I feel like that's how the network and the access that she has to people, like, talk about both sides of the track.
Come on.
She uses her access to not only get you on both sides, but to help you stay on that side.
Yep.
And then for you to
big
go
brands,
off
big brands, big brands,
big brands,
big
like,
brands. Pepsi.
No. Okay, purely tea.
Purely
like,
tea, right?
Like, HDTV. Like, we're big brains.
Yes. And that's exactly, and she's doing that without selling out. That's how me and her like really became friends, was like she saw the bullshit and I seen the bullshit. Hard. Yeah, you don't have to sell out. You don't have to. And if them white folk gonna ask you to do something, make sure you get in at least 5 figures. Like, hustle
minimum.
Up. Come on. And it's just
minimum.
Yeah, it's just
and add a little extra for reparation.
Come on. And I think Michelle, we definitely got Michelle. I keep forgetting. She's such a ninja that you forget about her, but
I know, but she's such a jewel.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful, because that makes me feel like, all right, I'm not crazy, because if Chrissy going through this, if Michelle see it, if Amethyst peeped it, like we was talking about, I ain't gonna go there, but I ain't gonna say it.
Right.
I ain't gonna say it.
It's like, but when you realize you're on the same accord with the same people, it's like, okay, cool, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I just have to make sure. Then you can. It's like, all right, everybody else crazy, but
all I'm gonna say is that I want black people to make my red rice. That's all I'm gonna say. And if I'm gonna have an event, it's gonna. I'll text you. But like, yeah, if I'm gonna have an event, I'm gonna have black people make red rice in Charleston. Like, it's like people's aunties out here baking this shit up every day. But anyway, well, this was a pleasure. This was like a real good Kiki fest.
I enjoyed this. But no, for real, all jokes aside, with this summer approaching, you guys, we have to be safe. All this retaliation going on, like this morning, like I saw another shooting on the news this morning.
I know.
It's just, and that one, I think it was a domestic dispute, and it's just like, and to touch on that really quickly, because and someone was just kind of like, when you're in those domestic disputes, only 2% of people make it out, and that's really sad. And it's just like, to anyone who is watching this, to anyone who is viewing this, if you are in a domestic dispute, tell someone, whether it be me, somebody you don't know, but you do not have to stay in that, because it should not end with your life. Like, no relationship is worth your life. And seeing that this morning, it was really kind of heart-wrenching. And like I said, once again, with like COVID and people having to be stuck in the house, who really knows what these domestic disputes have been like? People locked in with people who they don't want to be with.
Because the money was funny, and you're right. And South Carolina has a really poor history with domestic violence. We know Black people. I know Christian Rainey, shout out to him in terms of, you know, what he's always lifted up in terms of domestic violence and advocating an end to that. But we know that women in this state, disproportionately Black and white women, disproportionately are impacted by domestic violence, by gun violence, intertwined with that issue. And that's really sad. And even though we're out the top 10 now, we're still one of those states that still battle with that. And now that they made gun laws easier here, so like anyone can get a fucking gun now. So, but this was really a really important conversation. I appreciate you so much. And
thank you for allowing me to be on your platform.
And I think I wanted to talk about the gun stuff or the violence, but I wanted to talk about it in a real way, not in a way that like as a talk show host. I got noisy neighbors, but like but I wanted to talk about it with someone who's born and raised here, and then shout out to the folks in the chat that talked about everything, all the old haunts, faculty lounge, all the other things.
I remember faculty lounge.
Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to all my white followers who listened and didn't chime in.
Right, we appreciate you guys for listening.
Yes,
sometimes it's just really good to listen and just to soak it in, and to be a good alligator. If y'all want to like listen, we need mentor. Well, I'm not gonna say that because I feel like Black people should mentor Black children. But you can assist. You can talk to Alley. You can talk to Alley. You know, if you would like to provide a facility where they can mentor and meet their mentors. I would like to see more white. I would like to see more white people try to find Black mentors for those Black nonprofits. And okay? And I know we gotta close out, but real quick. I don't know was it the boys? I don't know what organization it was, but I feel like I told this about you. And the lady, she wanted me to be a mentor, but then she was like, "Oh, this is back when I was hosting."
Oh, I remember this.
This white woman who was there, she was just like, "Oh, because you host at clubs and you do things with liquor, we don't know if you'll be a good mentor." And it's just like, how are you?
A whole debutante, a whole beauty queen.
I was so offended. I told that I was like, "Don't even worry about running my back." I was like, and it's just like, on the same end, could I have been matched with a child that probably needed my help? Yes. But the way they went about it and the way they go about like just
that's anti-Black.
Black people.
Yeah, it's anti-Black.
And the thing about it, she was just kind of like, they had like over 80 kids and over 80 Black children and only 12 mentors. And you got the audacity to she told me I had to create a whole new Instagram and Facebook if I wanted to be a mentor.
Oh, wow. No, I think that what you see is that Black, white people, that's why, you know, me, I kind of cut my teeth with the whole, these nonprofits. Like, that's what people first probably start hearing more of my voice is like, these nonprofits are so problematic. This white nonprofit industrial complex. And what they're doing is that they want to groom Blackness in their vision, as opposed to getting qualified people, cultural, you know, competent cultural messengers to engage with the kids. And hey, street slang, black vernacular is acceptable. Like it's so weird. Like the stuff that white people, the toxic and bad stuff that white people do is never policed like how we speak AAVE or anything like that. It's just a problem. But these white nonprofits love to groom young Black minds in the vision of what whiteness thinks is acceptable, and that's So we need more of these white nonprofits, and some of them I've collected and gotten together, and they were like, "You're right, we're trying to hire more Black staff to get in touch with these children," but some of them just don't.
On that end, Black, this is where we really need you guys to come in and just to mentor these kids, especially for the organizations that are open. Please go help and just be there,
Seriously.
Be a mentor.
I think that's going to be the next move. I think especially here after what's been happening in the past week, waking up every day to some kind of crazy headline, and the weekend's coming, and it's going to be Memorial Day weekend. And
that's what I'm thinking about. It's just like, girl, I'm going to just have to stay home. I'm going to dress up, but I'm going to stay home.
It's all good. But I mean, you know, just be safe. Whatever you decide to do, Christy, just be safe. And I'll call you Christy. I don't know if you let people call you Christy.
No, listen, everybody has state, so it's just kind of like that's how I realize how people know me.
Okay.
So Charleston is Chris, South Carolina State, Chrissy, Orangeburg, Kris Kaylin, people who know me from radio.
Okay. But no, just be safe whatever you do. But thank you so much for like contributing to this conversation. We need you here for as long as you're gonna be here, but you about to blast off. So
listen, I feel like I'm very close to my glass ceiling, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. I actually am too. So wherever you pop off, we can at least say, "Oh, we knew her," and you know they gonna love you. They gonna love you when you leave.
They love. They go listen. You know what? I think about that every day, and I was just like, when that time does come, I want you to know that's gonna be in my Instagram caption. Y'all gonna miss me when I am gone.
They gonna be like, "Oh shit, she on a nationally syndicated show. She on a panel discussion." But behind the scenes, we're gonna work on that publicist thing because I know there's some hungry young publicists that can at least start getting you booked on certain things. You just need to be weighing in on all things current events because people need to hear you seriously.
I just need the right public. I just need the right people because I know I'm a good client. I just need to be put in the hands of the right person.
We're gonna talk. I've been putting this off for a while. We're gonna talk because if I could do that with somebody who don't even want my services, then damn it, I could do it with you. I could do it with you.
Oh, imagine we can take over the world. This time next year, we taking over the world. You hear me?
Absolutely. All right, sis. I'm gonna say bye to everybody.
So
okay. Peace out.
Guys.
Bye. Bye, everybody. We're gonna say bye to Chrissy over here. What is going on? Oh. But yeah, thank you. Look at that popping up in my face. Thank you all for listening in on this cultural conversation. My light done changed everything. Take care, y'all. I probably will be up in the morning doing my 7:30 a.m. Twitch. But take care. Bye.